Matthew 17:20. And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai. Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, who made the heavens, the universe, and the earth. Yahushai, who is the son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So first and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth. And Barakatah to you, elders of Great Millstone. This video, I believe, is going to be entitled something of the sorts of faith of a mustard seed. So let's go back into this. Into Matthew 17:20. And Yahushua said unto them, see what was going on is the disciples, they were trying to cure a child, like a rebuke. They were trying to rebuke a evil demon within a child, and they couldn't do it. And of course, Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus, but that's not his real name, he went and he did it. And they asked him why. And Yahushua, let's go. And it reads, Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. So this is something that we hear a lot, and especially growing up, if you grew up in a Christian church, they tell you, oh, you just got to have faith of a mustard seed, and people have really taken that out of context, because if you go and you look up a mustard seed, it is a very small seed, almost as small as a sesame seed that you see on the bun. Is really, really small. So what they you know what I'm saying, thinking carnally, they take that as all you got to do is have a little bit of faith, just a little inch of faith, a little smidget of faith, and anything is possible unto you. But what I know for sure is that the mustard seed is a very powerful herb. I mean, this herb is so powerful that you know, these armies of these nations, they have actually made a gas out of it. It's called mustard gas. So they actually weaponized it because it's so potent. So what I believe is your faith has to be really strong. It has to be really potent. It's not the fact that it's a small seed. It's the fact that the seed is very strong and very potent, that even the so-called white man, he made a weapon out of it. And as we know that, say you go to a barbecue, a lot of people don't like mustard. It's an acquired taste. As is this truth is an acquired taste as well. You can break this truth down to some people, and they kind of brush it off as in, oh no one should go into slavery, which the so-called Edomites, who are the who they call white people on the earth, predominantly the white people on this earth, they are the nation of Edom. They are the Edomites. And, you know what I'm saying, biblical prophecy says that they will go into servitude to the children of Israel, which means they're going to go into slavery for what they did to the children of Israel, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans. Predominantly the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the children of Israel that we know of today. Those people that's in Israel right now, those are not the children of Israel. Those are Amalekites, which is the head tribe of Edom, the Edomites. Okay? So let's not get diverted. What I'm gonna show you is that you do need faith of a mustard seed, but that mustard seed is a very strong faith. And I'm gonna show you instances in the Bible where the people, men of the Lord, had very strong faith in the Lord that got them through trying times. They couldn't have a very small faith because the situations that they were put in were very precarious. They were dire. You know what I'm saying? They could have been killed. So let's head over to Daniel. Both of the stories are coming out of Daniel, so we don't have to go far. Okay, let's start at Daniel 3, Daniel chapter 3. And these are going to be kind of long, drawn-out stories because these chapters in Daniel are pretty long. But it's really interesting if you get some time to read the book of Daniel. It's a good read, and it is a very good faith builder as well. So let's get into it. Daniel 3:15. Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, the dole claimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall and worship the image which I have made, when I have made well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is the God that shall deliver you out of my hands? So this is Nebuchadnezzar saying that when you hear this music, you need to drop down to your knees and you need to you need to worship this huge statue that I have created. Now let's go. In 16, so Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God who we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. So they telling him straight up, Nebuchadnezzar, like, look, we can't worship that idol. We can't worship that. And if it be so, you know what I'm saying, because we don't know what the Lord gonna do, that he'll deliver us out of your hand. So they kind of, you know what I'm saying, somewhat being, I would say, being disrespectful, but they let them know, like, look, we can't worship, you know what I'm saying, your statue. We're not finna get down on our knees and we're not finna worship your statue. That's pretty much going against the law of the children of Israel. 18 in the rezone. But if it be known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship thy golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. So he got so mad, he like, all right, bitch, I'm going to throw y'all in the furnace right now, and I'm going to put it on extra hot. Because, they was, what I'm saying, they was cool in his eye there. You know what I'm saying? Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego was okay, but after they said that, he kind of changed his countenance. He wasn't fucking with them no more. And 20, and it reads, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandments was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the men that was throwing them into the furnace, they died. That's how hot it was. And these were some of the mightiest men in his army. So the oven was so hot that it killed the men that were actually throwing them in there. And these three, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like a son of God. So it was an angel in there protecting them from the fiery furnace, because he only threw 3 men in there. But when he looking, there's 4 in there, okay? Then Nebuchadnezzar came near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes and the governors and the captains and the kings and the counselors began gathered together and saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was a hair on their head singed, neither were their clothes changed, nor the smell of fire passed on them. So they were so protected inside of this furnace, they didn't even smell like smoke or fire. Every hair on their head was still there. They probably came out of there looking like they had never even been looking like they never been in the fire, looking like they just walked out of an air-conditioned building, you know what I mean? Then Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel, sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego should be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So you tell me, can someone with faith of a small mustard seed do that? No, because a small mustard seed is very powerful. So your faith has to be very powerful. People look at a mustard seed and they're just looking at the physical part of it. They're looking at the fit like, oh, it's really, really small. You just need a little ass piece of faith. No, the Lord wants you to have tremendous faith, tremendous trust in him. That's why he used the mustard seed, because it's such a powerful herb. If you say you put a mustard seed in your mouth and you bite down on it, you're gonna spit that shit out because it's you like I said, a lot of people don't even like mustard. It's an acquired taste. And like I say, like this faith is an acquired taste. This truth that we're in now, you know what I'm saying, doing the work of the Lord, trying to, you know what I'm saying, just let the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans know that they are the true children of Israel. This is a tough doctrine to get past the children of Israel because they hard-headed, they stiff-necked, they don't listen. If you tell somebody, you know what I'm saying, Negro, Latino, Native American that they're the children of Israel, they not even gonna fucking listen to you. All right, thank you. And walk off murmuring under their voice. Man, that nigga crazy. That nigga crazy. Talking about the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans, the children of Israel. You niggas. Okay. Excuse me. So that is one count of having the faith of a mustard seed. Strong faith. So let's go to another chapter in Daniel, because Daniel is a good book, man. You gotta read Daniel. It's a really good book. So we're gonna go to Daniel chapter 6. Let's start at verse 15. Excuse me. And then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and the Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king established may be changed. See, now Nebuchadnezzar is dead now. So this is his son, the new king, and of course he made a new decree that for 30 days you can't worship any god but some bullshit. And Daniel was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So let's keep reading. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the... Okay, this is what happened. They kind of set Daniel up. You know, these men, these captains and you know what I'm saying, these soldiers, or, you know, just people, higher up people in the kingdom, they set Daniel up because they didn't like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, Daniel was a top dog. He was like the right-hand man to the king. So they tricked the king into making a decree because they knew Daniel was only going to worship, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. So I think for 30 days they were, you know what I'm saying, not to worship any god or something like that. I can't even remember. You got to go back and read the story. So they kind of set him up because Daniel had one of his windows open at his house. And they looked through the window and they seen Daniel, you know what I'm saying, on his knees praying 3 times a day. And they went back and told the king. And the king like, let me get into the story. Then the king commanded that they brought Daniel and cast him into the lion's den. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his Lord, that the purpose might not be to change concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. So when he, because like Daniel was like a right-hand man, he was very esteemed in his kingdom. So when the king put Daniel in the lion's den, he was real distressed. He barely slept that night because he put him in the lion's den for the entire night with a bunch of hungry-ass lions. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. So he got up in the morning and he went straight to the lion's den. I'm finna see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying, I'm finna see what's going on with Daniel. And when he came unto the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? And Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel. See, the Lord sent another angel, and have shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocence was found in me, and also before thee, O king, I have done no hurt. So he like, the Lord sent down this angel to protect me because, I'm in it. I know that I did worship that God, but I can't worship anybody else. I'm innocent, and I have done nothing to you. Because Daniel was running shit for the king. He was very highly esteemed. So let's keep going. Then the king was exceedingly glad for him and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. So that takes tremendous faith. That doesn't take the faith. All you need is the faith of a mustard seed. You got to have that potency, that strength of a mustard seed, that to know if you're ever in a situation that looks dire, it looks completely bad for you, that the Lord, that God, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, will deliver you. Let's read on, 24. And the king commanded and brought those men which have accused Daniel, and said, cast them into the lions' den, and cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, their wives, and the lions had mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or even came to the bottom of the den. So basically, they took Daniel out of the den. The king was like, you right, you good. I shouldn't even tried that shit. Now you motherfuckers that set Daniel up, get y'all ass in the den. And better yet, y'all children get in the den. And moreover, throw y'all wives in the den too. You know what I'm saying? So Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai put that spirit on the king to throw all their ass in there. Call Allah Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. But that takes immense faith to be thrown into a situation like that, and to know that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai will deliver you. And it's not the physical countenance of the seed that you should be worried about. It's the potency of it. Because if you look it up, a mustard seed gets a pretty big tree. Let's find this. A mustard seed gets into a pretty big tree. Let's go to images. Faith of a mustard seed. Let's look up mustard tree. Let's go to mustard seed tree. Images. Look at this. Look how big these trees are. And, look at that. That's the seed right there. That's a mustard seed. Look, that's a mustard seed. Look how small that is. But look what it, look what it builds. It builds these huge trees, bro, out of that small seed. So even though it looks really small, it's a very potent seed. It builds huge trees. And that's your faith. Your faith should always be building within Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Look at these trees. They're beautiful. And let's look up this. Let's look up faith. Let's figure out what faith is. Faith. Faithless to a trust. Okay, let's look up faith and see what it says. To trust or promise, loyalty to a person, honesty, truthfulness. Let's head down. Faith being trust, confidence, confidence. See, you're confident. Pledge, trust, faith, confidence, reliance, credence, belief. You see, I can't make this up. To trust, confide, persuade. Let's see what else we got. I mean, that's pretty much narrows it down. So you got to have trust. You got to be confined. You got to have loyalty to the Lord that he will save you. He will. And you're going to need this faith to endure the times that are coming. To endure the times that are coming upon this earth, the time of evil, man, you got to have immense faith. So you got to have that faith of a mustard seed, that potency, and that faith will grow into a large tree to what, you know what I'm saying? Even if Esau is to throw you into one of these FEMA concentration camps, the faith that to know that the Lord will break you out of there. The Lord will get you out. He has not forgotten you. He will not forsake you. As long as you have true faith, true reliance, true loyalty in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's for you Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans who are the true children of Israel. So let's get one more. I'm going to get one more. I'm going to get Hebrews 11:1. So we're speaking about faith. So Hebrews 11:1, and it reads, now faith is a substance of things hoped for and an evidence of things not seen. Let's keep going down to some good stuff. For by the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds we frame by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. The faith of Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts, and by it Salakia, and by it he's being dead yet speaketh. So, Abel was killed by his brother Cain, but with his faith, his blood was still speaking to the Lord thy God from the earth. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had his testimony that pleased God. So all this Hebrew chapter 11, it starts with telling you about the faith that people had and how it delivered them. Even the faith of Abel. Let's read number 4 again. By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. So once Cain killed his brother, his faith, his soul, is because the blood is the soul of any being. It still spoke to the Lord and said, yeah, this motherfucker Cain killed me, Lord. He killed me. So y'all know the story of Cain and Abel, but you got to have mass faith. You got to have a really strong faith of a mustard seed, which means it has to be strong, it has to be potent, and it'll get you through. Well, with that, I hope y'all was edified by that. I guess to the